Podcasting Q&A. What is up, my friends? We are live on social media doing some live podcasting tips and podcasting Q&A. If you are a podcaster and you are looking to level up with your podcast download growth, podcast audience engagement, podcast monetization, that's what we're talking about tonight. My man, Vanator in the house on Instagram. What's up, Evan? How's it going, brother? I'm usually watching you on Instagram Live. So the tables have turned, my friend. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Instagram. So if I'm kind of sliding around with where I'm talking, that is why. If you have podcasting questions, drop them in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, whether you are on the IG. I would love nothing more than to answer some podcasting questions here tonight. I've got a few things I'll kick the conversation off with. I will just go until the tank is dry. I will not stop answering your questions until we feel like everybody knows all that they need to know about podcasting. So I am the host of Podcasting Business School. It's the show where I teach you how to love your podcast like a hobby, but build it like a business. I'm already tripping myself out with the double screen thing. It's all good. I'm going to say hello to a few friends on Instagram. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Podcasting Business School. Brand new breaking news, Pod Pals. I'm on YouTube. I didn't have a YouTube last time I went live. I got a YouTube. I've already got 12 live videos. I've gone live 12 times in the last week. And I've got a bunch of content posted on YouTube. I would love it if there was more than just my mom subscribed to my page on YouTube. So help be that next subscriber. Help me get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Just search Podcasting Business School on YouTube. All right. So I'm going to cover a little bit of sponsorship. I'm going to cover a little bit about Clubhouse, some strategies that I'm working on there, Spotify. But I'm going to get to some of your questions first. My boy, Evan from Vanator Growth, check out the new podcast, Be Good to Future You. If you're into financials, if you're into crypto, like I am, hodling. If you're into crypto, post what you're investing in the comments below. I would love to know. I got a little ETH, I got a little BTC, I got some ADA, and that's about it. A little bit of Dogecoin, just in case it goes crazy. Don't tell Evan. So Evan asked, what podcast platform is best? So by platform, I am maybe assuming you mean either player or host. I'll say both. I'll answer both. So as a host, Evan, you know, I'm big on Libsyn. There are a lot that are kind of in that next tier with Libsyn. Buzzsprout comes to mind. The only hosting platform I say do not host with would be Anchor. There's some shady stuff going down on Anchor where my friend Allie Melody just had her show like pirated on Anchor. They stole the name, all the episode titles, and then started running. She's got a vegan show and they're running McDonald's ads and trying to make money off of her show. So I would avoid Anchor. It's free, it's easy, but it's shady business. In my personal opinion, I know it's associated with Spotify and that gives it some cred, but I've got some horror stories with Anchor. So be careful with Anchor, Pod Pals. Now, if you're talking about platform to consume podcasts on, let's talk download numbers. Apple has 60% of all the downloads that happen. That's coming from Rob at Libsyn. It's close to that, maybe like 61 or 57, but roundabouts that number, 60% of all the podcasts that are listened to are listened through Apple. Then you have things like Spotify, Overcast, Audible podcasts. So really, I think that as far as where we need to be, Apple, of course, Spotify is investing so much. They're investing so heavily in the podcasting space right now. We've got to be there. If you've never consumed podcast content on Spotify, I would recommend just get on the player, listen to some shows, see how things are happening. They've got the new Green Room platform. They're listening to podcasters. They're invested in podcasting. They're buying Joe Rogan exclusive rights, all these things. I like that. I like that they are listening to us. You know, Apple's never sent me a survey like, how can we serve you better as a podcaster? But Spotify is like getting a hold of people like me and going like, how can we have a better ad platform, which I'll get to in a minute. So I just like that. So I would start consuming some Spotify. Also, there are so many podcasters, for those of you on Instagram, that they don't realize that you can go to your Spotify account, click on your latest episode. You can share it to your Instagram stories. And there at the top of the screen, there's a listen on Spotify button. So it's a direct link. You don't need a swipe up. You don't need 10,000 followers. You can click on that little right at the top, and that will directly lead to your Spotify episode. And those downloads are tracked. They're counting. All right. Let's say hello to some people on the IG. We got a lot of cool folks chiming in here. Breakaway Business Coaching. What's up, Janet? Up your average. Stick it up your average, Jared. That's what I always say. All right. So let's see here. We had somebody comment about Anchor. All right. Side piece season started on Anchor, and a lot of people have been telling me Buzzsprout is better. Thoughts? Yeah, I would get off Anchor. Like, I don't want to just totally just crap on Anchor. Starting your show is great. Like, congrats for starting a show. That's better than podcrastinating. Like, people that just sit there and spin their wheels like, I've got this great idea. And they've had this great idea for 5 years. I talked to somebody today. They're like, it's been 2 years in the startup phase. So congrats, you started. Now let's get serious. I started on a platform that I can't even remember. SoundCloud. That's what I started on. I did like 15 episodes, 20 episodes on there. Was doing okay, but that's not a platform built for podcasters. That's more for singers and musical artists. I had somebody show me the light. Shout out Coach Justin Shank from the Growth Now Movement podcast. He goes, dude, if you're going to get serious, get on Libsyn, because their metrics are awesome. Their analytics are great. You can see where the downloads are coming. You can see your stats. It's accurate. It's dependable. You can schedule all of everything out in advance. It's user-friendly. They've got great customer support. It's like $25 a month, $20 a month, depending on how many shows you're doing. They are great. And if you guys want to try out Libsyn, shameless plug, go to Libsyn.com, Libsyn. People misspell it. It's a hard one to misspell. Not great marketing strategy there. Libsyn.com. You can enter in Adam in the promo code. You'll get a free month. You can check it out. Shameless plug. I appreciate the support. Let's see here. If you guys have any questions, podcasting questions, let me know. We got some shout outs for Buzzsprout. All right. Libsyn is Libsyn. So check that out. Libsyn.com. Reach out, talk to Rob Walsh. He's been on my show. Great guest. That Rob's the stat guy. Let's drop some stat knowledge, by the way. So I know we have a lot of newer podcasters listening in. I love these stats. And again, these are roundabout, but Libsyn puts on a show called The Feed. So The Feed by Libsyn. Search that, subscribe to that. Once every other week or once a month, Rob gets on there and he's like the stat guy. And he drops the stats. And these are the stats. These are like the broad brush. Again, it could be a few percent up or a few percent down. So if your show is getting around 125 to 130 downloads after 30 days of being aired. So let's say you put out episode 1 of your show 30 days ago. And if by today, 30 days later, you have 125 downloads, you're in the top 50% of all podcasts. Drop some mind blown emojis in the comments for that one. If that one just like, wait, rewind that. 125. People are like, oh, I'm a failure if I don't do Joe Rogan numbers, if I'm not doing millions and billions of downloads. So I want you to just let that soak in. If you can do 125 downloads within 30 days, you're in the top 50% of all podcasts. Now, if we can get that up to 1,000 per episode after 30 days, not the first day, after 30 days, you're in the top 20%. Those are the two numbers I really throw out there for my clients, for my podcast marketing clients. I've got a membership, shameless plug, downloadgrowthclub.com. Check it out. We put those benchmarks out there where it's like, all right, let's get you to 125 first. Then let's get you to 500. The area where I start seeing monetization happen a little bit more easily is 500 to 1,000 downloads per episode. Once my shows have gotten there, it's like, all right, I've got an active audience. I've got enough numbers that I can sell a course. I can sell a membership. And that's where monetization, that's the monetization sweet spot. And of course, above. And I know people have smaller niche down shows. I interviewed a guy for my other show, Let's Talk About Your Podcast, right there. And his name's Trace. Shout out to Trace Blackmore. he's got a show called Scaling Up H2O. It's for water treatment professionals. This dude is crushing. All right. Crushing it with business, crushing it with downloads for water treatment professionals. That's a podcast I'll never listen to, but lots of water treatment professionals sure do. Let's see here. Up your average. Okay. He wanted me to repeat the second number. So if you have 1,000 downloads per episode, you're in the top 20%. I think the top 1% is like 28,000 or something like that. I don't even pay attention to that because 1,000, like getting the top 20% of all the podcasts that exist, every active podcast, if you do 1,000 downloads after 30 days, top 20%. Now, the reason this is blowing so many minds out there is because so many people lie about their download numbers. They are full of BS where, like, I even had people that mentored me at the beginning tell me to kind of fake it till I make it. I was like, F that, man. Like, then you get behind that rock. If you tell somebody you're doing millions of downloads, and then all of a sudden it's like, you can't like give any updates. Like I did a full episode earlier this year where I broke down every stat, every number, every download average per month for the last year. And I talked about my growth, how I 10x my downloads in 2020, where I was going from like 600 downloads per month to 8,000 downloads per month for Podcasting Business School. And it's like 8,000 doesn't like blow any people's minds, but I'm a full-time damn podcaster and it pays the bills. So something to keep in perspective. All right. Downloads aren't everything, but having that perspective, a lot of people beat themselves up and they're like, I'm not doing thousands or hundreds of thousands. I can't get sponsors. I'm going to quit because I'm a failure. And you're not. Like, there are so many podcasts out there that wish they were getting 100 downloads an episode. I get in front of so many people that are getting 10, 15, 20 downloads an episode, and they've been podcasting for 8 years like that. And I'm like, let me show you the way. Let me show you the way, pod pals. So again, that's what I love to do. That's what I talk about on my show, Podcasting Business School, all the time. Now that we're doing YouTube lives, if you guys don't want to wait around for the audio on the podcast, I'm putting out every interview, every solo episode, every pod pal session live on my YouTube page. Just search Podcasting Business School. Now, my 10-year-old son showed me how to do this. I want you to smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button. YouTube advice for my 10-year-old son, Henry. All right. So that is some stuff there. I do hear good things about Buzzsprout. I had somebody ask about Buzzsprout. When you go from Libsyn to Buzzsprout, I have people saying very positive things about those. And there's a few others. So it's not like one is great, one sucks. I'm hardcore Libsyn. I love that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about sponsors. That's when we talk monetization. And if there's a newer podcaster in the house, their brain goes sponsors. Oh, that's monetization. Tim Ferriss gets paid for mushroom coffee and underwear companies and mattress companies. We hear all the people getting paid. And that's not how most podcasters earn their first dollar in podcasting. Now, of course, I was like everybody else when I first started my health show, Million Pound Mission. I'm like, got to have sponsors, got to do affiliates. And I was just really hustling the affiliate thing. And then I realized, I'm like, yo, I'm making like $1 a month off mushroom coffee referrals. This sucks. Let's start selling some of my own shit. So that's when I created memberships, coaching, and I started cranking some dollars and going, okay, this makes way more sense. I'm going to sponsor my own show with my own products, programs, services, courses, memberships, all of that. Now, once you get that cranking as a base, sponsorship can be a little icing on the cake. My health show now, Low Carb Hustle, we've got sponsors that we work with. We have affiliate programs. We're doing giveaway stuff, and we have just straight up paid sponsorship. Like we've got that too. But I want to show you what I call the sponsorship relationship building pipeline. If you want to go deep on this topic, my episode dropped yesterday, episode 182 of Podcasting Business School, how to develop relationships with potential podcast sponsors. I'm going to give you a few high level tips today. The episode goes deep. Episode 182, Podcasting Business School. So the first thing is I want you to start sharing and tagging the brand that you want to partner with without like them asking to do a partnership, not reaching out to ask them to do a partnership. Just start sharing some of their stuff out, tagging them. So they start getting eyeballs on your brand. Like, oh, this Low Carb Hustle dude is sharing the hell out of our stuff. This is great. Free promo, free pub, get it in front of them. All right. Then Once you have put some stuff out there, drop them a voice DM on the IG. I've had way more success with that than anything else, than trying to get through the email inbox, which is just it's just difficult. There's a lot of gatekeepers there on the email. But send them a voice DM and go, hey, it's Adam from podcasting, from Low Carb Hustle. We'll use that. And let's say I'm reaching out to a health brand like Fire Creek Snacks. They're one of our new partners that we're starting to work with. So I'll use them and give them some free publicity because they're awesome. So I'm like, hey, what's up, Dustin at Fire Creek Snacks? I love your stuff. You may have noticed I've been kind of stalking you on the IG. I'm sharing a lot of your stuff. We love it over here in Low Carb Hustle land. We would be very interested in doing some sort of a co-branded giveaway. Let me know if that piques your interest at all. Get back to me. We'd love to do it. So I go, all right, let's do a collab. Let's do a giveaway. Maybe I'll even do some live product reviews and save it in my Instagram TV and just like give them free stuff, free pub, build a positive relationship. Then we do something collab. Maybe they come on the show. Maybe we do a giveaway. Maybe we do an IG live together. But there's some sort of free collaboration. Again, just give. Then if you have a sponsorship platform where you can say, hey, for this amount of dollars, you get X, for this amount of dollars, you get Y, this amount Z, that's when you can have that talk. But I would try to interact and give in at least 2 different levels by sharing their stuff, free product reviews, Instagram live, podcast guesting, giveaways. Do some of that first and play the long game. Build a real relationship. We're on a first name basis with that rep or that decision maker. And these can get pretty awesome. So great example. I was talking earlier on Clubhouse with my buddy, Scott Carson from the Note Closer Show. Shout out to Scott. And I talked about my relationship with sunlight and saunas. I've got a $5,000 infrared sauna. I can almost touch it. It's just right there. I can almost reach it. Didn't have to pay for it. I'm a brand collaboration guy with them. I'm a brand partner. I talk about them all the time. I go live from my sauna, the SaunaCast, until my phone, it gets too hot. My phone, I've got an older iPhone. I got to update that. It gets a little hot in there, but it's amazing. And I did that through collaboration, reaching out, building relationships. And I didn't have the biggest Instagram account at the time, but they like my energy. They like the fact that I'm a podcaster. They love the fact that I'm a content creator. I'm going live all the time. I've gone live 6 times in the last 24 hours on different mediums. And that's power. I'm looking to interact with people. I'm looking to connect and impact people. And they like that. They like my energy. And they're like, we want you to be a brand partner. Tell us where to ship the sauna. Awesome. Let's go. So awesome things like that can happen, but play the long game. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is don't expect to go full-time as a podcaster off sponsorship dollars. All right, pod pals, you got to be realistic. I know so many of you are starting a podcast as a side hustle with dreams of making it a full-time gig, living that #podcast life. But the sponsorship road is going to be long and hard for 99% of us. Think about ways you can monetize with your expertise or bringing the experts to the table. So many podcasters I talk to for like podcast audits and things like that. It's like, I just don't know how to monetize. I'm not the expert. I interview the expert. I go, okay, you're the one that connects the expert to your audience. You're the hub. You're the connector. People will pay for that access. Do a once per month meetup. That's a membership or a mastermind. You bring 2 of your top most downloaded guests from most downloaded episodes. Connect your audience to the experts. Charge for that. And you're making money. You're monetizing. That's so much easier than shilling supplements and stuff like that. Unless you've got a giant Instagram page. If you got 50,000 followers on Instagram, go sell some supplements. Go sell some underwear or something like that. My boy Danny Vega, I think he's approaching 80,000 followers. Follow him at Danny Vega, I think .ms. He's like the Cuban Hulk. This dude, he looks like Thanos and Tony Montana had a baby together. He's got veins in his arms the size of most men's arms. All right. He's a stud. And people want to get their brand attached to that in health space. He can just like wear some sunglasses. They're paying him. That's not me. He's got all the followings. He's got the look. And more power to him. Hell yeah. If I was looking like Danny Vega, I'd be all over that too. But a lot of people don't have those kind of genetics, unfortunately. So we've got to go about it in a different way. So let's see here. And Janet says, great episode from yesterday. Listen to it. Thank you very much. We got a few comments on Facebook and YouTube. Kim says, Libsyn is short for Liberated Syndicate or Liberated Syndication. Thank you very much. We got a boom, golden nugget. If you guys have anything to say on YouTube or Facebook, drop a comment. I would love to share that out. Let's do that. Boom, right there, Kim. Thank you. All right. So I promised a little Spotify, a little Clubhouse. We'll do a little Spotify update, a little Clubhouse update. If you guys have any questions about podcast growth, podcast launch, podcast monetization, audience engagement, post them in the comments. I would love to answer those for you here this evening. And by the way, let's do a little halftime show. It's a little past halftime. I'm planning on going live every Wednesday, come hell or high water, on YouTube, on Instagram, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. This time, I am dedicated to that. I'm going to make that my live show time. I've been doing lives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, kind of in random spots when I do interviews on YouTube. But I want this to be like my time that you can count on me always being live Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard in the United States. So yeah, we'll be dropping live podcasting tips and Q&A. So if you have podcasting cues that I could then show up live on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. All right. We're going to talk a little bit of Clubhouse, a little bit of Spotify, and then I'll answer. We got some questions over here too. Excellent. Instagram is live today. Thank you. All right. Clubhouse. It's taken me a year to get on. I've had my pod pals smacking me over the head with frying pans going, get on Clubhouse, you big dummy. You got a big old voice. You're a seasoned audio professional. Get on Clubhouse. You're going to crush it. And I'm like, I don't have time. I finally made time. I went on once. I got a client. I went on again. I got 20 new Instagram followers and another client. And I went on, and I'm not even on my own rooms. I haven't done one of my own rooms at all. I went live on somebody's room at 6 a.m. in the morning on Saturday, and they pulled me up the stage to talk. And I talked for 5 minutes, got 20 new subscriber or 20 new followers on Clubhouse, 20 new followers on Instagram, and signed up 2 clients from not the United States. I was like, mind blown. Every time I go on there, I'm getting clients, I'm getting subscribers, I'm gaining super fans. And yeah, I've got this big ass power voice. I stand out. So I got to use that as a weapon. But any podcaster, honestly, you're going to have a leg up and you have a severe advantage on Clubhouse because we stand out. We're seasoned audio professionals. When we get on there, we can handle ourselves. It's not like fumbling around going, is my mic on? Like, and nothing, I don't want to make fun of those people, but we stand out above those people and people are going to remember us because we know how to deliver a message. We know how to deliver it effectively and speak clearly. And if you got the voice like I do, then hell, let's go. Let's go. But so on Clubhouse, so far in my 2-week experiment, I've got a few hundred followers on Clubhouse already. I'm going to try to push to 1,000 within the next week or so and just kind of see what I can do. Once I hit between 500 and 1,000 followers on Clubhouse, I'm going to start my own club, start doing my own rooms. All right. I may jump into another club and do rooms within that, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to start doing my own at that point. But right now, all I'm doing is popping in to other people's rooms. I respectfully raise my hand. They pull me up to stage and I stand out. But I come ready with the weapons. Like, okay, here's what I know. Here's the tip that I want to give. Here's my subtle mention of my show that I'm going to give. Hey, it's Adam from Podcasting Business School. I am a full-time podcaster. That's usually the way I start it because that makes me stand out. People's ears perk up. How are you going to make their ears perk up? How are you going to make yourself stand out with the first thing that you say, right? Then I've been really winning with what I'm calling now a collaboration call to action, a collaboration invitation. All right. So I'm like, hey, and I ask permission. Hey, would it be all right if I put out a little collaboration invitation to your audience? I've got 2 shows about podcasting. I'm looking to bring some podcasters on my show. They always say, but of course, go ahead. I go, okay, cool. I've got a show called Podcasting Business School. I do a podcast audit interview. If you are a podcaster that's already launched, you're kind of in the trenches and you want to get some advice from me as a veteran podcaster of 600 plus episodes on monetization, growth tips, audience engagement, I'd love to have you on the show. If you can teach business tactics on marketing, social media, I'd love to feature you as a guest interview. I've also got a show called Let's Talk About Your Podcast, where right now I'm doing a new series on people that are podcrastinating. Funny word, makes people laugh. They remember that. So I'm looking for people that are out there podcrastinating, and I want to help you strategize to launch your show finally. So I put those two things out there, and then I go, drop me like a rocket ship emoji if you want to launch your show. Drop me a microphone if you want to come on for a podcast audit. Then I just back out. I gave him my call to action. I didn't sell anything. I respectfully mentioned my brand, my shows. People are jumping over going, what's this guy with the big voice about? And I already got somebody on Instagram, side pieces, and said she found me on Clubhouse, which has probably happened the last couple of days, because that's all I've been on there. So like, you just bounce and you're respectful. You have a good profile. People bounce into Instagram, and then I start checking the DMs. I've got rocket ships and I've got microphones all over the place. I've booked so many interviews. People are skipping the interview going, just help me. I'm ready to go. You're the guy that I want to help me. Here's my credit card. Here's my Bitcoin. I do accept Bitcoin, by the way. I do. Evan, if you're still watching out there, I accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin is accepted here, or maybe a little bit of Ethereum. I'll do that too. So I got to throw my crypto shout out there. So Clubhouse is something I'm figuring out. I'll keep reporting in kind of week by week. I'll give you guys updates, but right now it's going very well. I'm bullish on the Clubhouse. I look at my social media assets like my investment portfolio. What's giving me the best return right now? What am I investing in? How am I investing my time asset where I'm getting the most return? Right now, number one is Clubhouse. Number two is Instagram. I'm experimenting in the YouTube waters as we are going live here. Facebook's the big daddy. And so many people feel pressure to be big on Facebook. Like Facebook, I'm live right now. I might have one like on this or something like that. Like there's very little interaction. I mean, for people that are watching on Facebook, thank you. But compared to IG, YouTube, Clubhouse, it's like you can't even compare it because of the algorithm. There's so much, just like, it's hard to break through that wall. So you have to be realistic with that. So I'm putting less effort into Facebook. I'm taking that energy, investing into Clubhouse because it's been amazing. All right. Now let's talk about one more amazing thing. And then Jared, I'll get to your question. I saw it about, Clubhouse. You asked about what rooms I join. Okay. So there's one of the largest clubs. It's called Club Pod. Steve Olsher runs it from Podcast Magazine. He's got 60 something thousand, 80 something thousand people in there. All podcasters are pod curious. And I just search on what room is active. And the advantage I might have is I get up really early, like 4 to 5 a.m. And I catch all these people that are going live in Europe and India. And like, I've signed up a couple clients from India in the last couple days, and the UK. So I'm hopping in there and I'm like, good morning from America. And they're like, what in the hell is this crazy American guy doing? It's 4 a.m. in the Eastern, in the EST. But I'm on there, full energy, full go. So I stand out. And then they start asking me to moderate since I get up early. It's like the crazy early American guy. So I'll pick rooms, but anything if I think my ideal listener, to get back to your question, Jared, I look for the rooms where my potential ideal listeners are hanging out. Where are my potential super fans listening? Of course, I could go and check out crypto rooms and things, but that's what I'm interested in. I want to pop into rooms that my super fans are interested in. That's the real key to making it a business investment, a business time investment, an asset that's going to help build what you're trying to build with your business. So what rooms, and you may ask, like, that's a great newsletter survey or Instagram poll. What rooms are you hanging out in on Clubhouse? Go there. What clubs are you in? Go there and start chiming in. Get on other people's stages. Like, it's like being a contributor to a really healthy Facebook group. I quit doing my own Facebook groups because I'm like, somebody else has a 50,000 person Facebook group that I can contribute to, and they manage it all. They built it. Let me go in there and add value, and people will come into my world. They'll come check out my show, and I scoop up a lot of listeners that way. So same thing with Clubhouse. That's my initial strategy is, I've never hosted my own room at all. I co-moderate a room with Coach Deb and Coach Melanie Benson. Shout out to Coach Melanie, especially. She's awesome. At 6 o'clock Eastern on Mondays. It's in Club Pod. But I don't have anything else set. but I will. But it's interesting how you can borrow other people's audiences they've built up and we add value. We're not going in there sneaky like, let's steal some Clubhouse people. Here we go. No, that's not the intent. It's add value, stand out, be so great they can't not follow you and dive into your world and go, what is this guy all about? Another quick Clubhouse trick that I did, and I'd be interested in side piece season if you heard me say this. One of the weird things I consider it to be weird, but on Clubhouse is, but I get it. Like they have this ending thing. So if I speak, I'm talking on Clubhouse at the end, it's like, my name is Adam and I am done, right? My name is Adam and I am complete. That's kind of the weirder one. My name is Adam and I am complete. And it's an audio platform. So what they're doing is signaling like I'm done talking now. I give up the mic basically. But it just kind of, the first few times I heard somebody say it, I'm like, that just feels weird. So of course I'm like, let's make fun of myself as I attempt this. So I got on the next time. I'm the next speaker up after everybody's like, I am complete. I am complete. I am complete. I get in there, I spit some fire and I go, my name is Adam and I approve this message. And people started dying laughing. And it made me stand out. And then I had like 12 people DM me. And at the end of the DM, they said they approved this message. I'm like, they heard me. That's what made it stand out. So how can you make somebody laugh? How can you make somebody smile? How can you stand out by, kind of making fun of yourself a little bit? But you did hear it. All right, good. But that's a window inside my personality. I like to make fun of myself. I like to kind of laugh at certain weird situations like that. So anyway, that's something. And I know we had another, I think, Jared might have had another question. Which rooms do I join? He asked me about getting all that action from a 5-minute talk. Yeah. So this morning I popped in. Here's exactly what I was doing today. I'm uploading, I'm editing my episodes for Podcasting Business School for the next couple of weeks. We're getting ready to go on a vacation to Lake of the Ozarks. Shout out to Lake of the Ozarks. It's an amazing place. I will be out there for 2 weeks on 4th of July and beyond. If you're out in that area, hit me up. We can connect. I'll also be going down to Arkansas for a little bit. But anyway, I'm doing my podcast editing. This is me typing. This is how I type. Podcast editing. And I just like, let's see what rooms are active on Club Pod. So I pop in and there are a couple awesome ladies that are in there, doing great work. There's probably 30, 40 people listening in. I'm just listening in. I hear what the conversation is. They're talking about podcasting wins and goals. And I'm like, I can contribute to this. So I raised my hand. They pulled me up and, you kind of wait your turn to talk. So I'm just doing my editing, listening. Like it's just multitasking instead of listening to the Alexa, which I won't say because she'll start talking to me here, or the radio or whatever, or listen to podcasts. I was just tuning in to Clubhouse and all of a sudden they pull me up on stage. I talk for like 5 minutes. I talk about, my goals, my wins that I'm having. And then I try to exit and they're like, no, you're not done. First off, amazing voice. I'm like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I didn't realize. So, but then they started asking me questions and I talked for another 5 or so minutes. And then I exit and I go to my DMs and they are just crushing. And I look at my account, 20 new followers on Clubhouse, 15 to 20 new ones on the IG, a dozen DMs. One person wanted to meet with me right then to sign up to be a client. This was easy. Like this was easy. So that's my Clubhouse spiel. Let's talk Spotify briefly. Sorry there, YouTube. I got my hand in the camera. And if you guys have Spotify based questions or podcast marketing questions, we could knock out a few of those. The host asked if I had a broadcasting history. I do voice work. Honestly, I'm kind of a cheap date when it comes to voice work. A lot of my friends hit me up. I'm like, and they're trying to pay me. I'm like, it took me 30 seconds. What are you talking about? I'm like Jay-Z, one take. Just give me a script. I'll do it in one take. I do. If you guys listen to Low Carb Hustle, even if you don't, if you're a fan of audio, go to the Low Carb Hustle podcast, forward all the way to the end where I do my outro. I do a movie voice outro where I'm like, in a world full of terrible podcast audio, one show makes you listen all the way to the end. The Low Carb Hustle podcast. This time it's for real. So you got to go check it out. I put some epic music behind it. Anyway, let's talk a little Spotify. Last week I dropped an episode 181 with my pod pal, Chris Kremitzos from Podfest. And this, like within a week, was my most downloaded episode. People just ate this up. All right. They ate it up because a lot of people don't realize you can advertise your podcast on Spotify. You can advertise your podcast on pretty much any podcast player other than Apple Podcasts. Apple, hook us up. Come on. Let's run some banner ads. Most of them are banner ads across the top of the player. So if you're listening on overcast.fm, you're listening to a business show, all of a sudden my banner ad pops up at the top of the screen and it says Podcasting Business School. Love your show like a hobby, but build it like a business. They can click on that, subscribe to your show in the player, and your ad tracks all that action. You can pay. I've run ads where I've paid $300 and gotten a couple hundred subscribers. Subscribers, not downloads. That's an important distinction. Subscribers, not downloads. I've got almost 200 episodes. Binge listen, and those turn into thousands of downloads. All right. But with Spotify, you can run an audio ad on targeted media. So you can say, I want to target people that listen to podcasts that are interested in health with a certain age demographic, male, female demographic, get very targeted. And it's able, like you're going to pick up listeners with this. So Chris and I talked about a strategy where with Spotify ads, frequency is really, really important. You want those listeners to listen to your audio 4 to 5 times, but a lot of us are on a small budget. So how do we do that? How do we do that? This is the question that I was racking my brain about, because I would run Spotify audio ads to the United States because I don't know, I'm in America. And, I know that it's not for $250. That's the minimum spend. So I was testing and, I get a 1 frequency. Everybody that heard it would hear it once. I was like, I got to get my frequency up. So Chris averages 4 to 5 listens on his frequency. So people are hearing his ad 4 to 5 times. So the strategy he's using is he's targeting cities and zip codes. So you have to think, all right, which city has the largest density of my potential ideal listeners? And this is where normally I'm like all about the niche. I'm like, oh, if you've got a super niche down show, you're doing it, you're crushing it. I feel like the niche isn't best suited to this advertising strategy, because if you've got like a show for chiropractors or dentists or gardeners or something, I don't know, like a smaller niche, like water treaters, like I talked about with Trace's show, even podcasters. Like I'm going to test like Chicago, Illinois, Orlando, Florida, Austin, Texas, where podcasting events happen, and test that and see if I can get a lot of podcasters to hear my ad. But if you've got more of a broad brush, like Katie Kremitzos has the Women's Meditation Network. So her topic is meditation. She is crushing it. So they can go, all right, we're going to target Los Angeles, or we're going to target Chicago or New York, and run a ad to her recent episode of her meditation podcast, hundreds of thousands of downloads, like crushing it. So right now, if I've piqued your interest, I'm doing a test group. All right. So let me dish this out there. This will be my little call to action for the evening. Damn, we're almost 40 minutes in. This is going good. You guys have been asking a lot of great questions on Instagram, especially. So what we're going to do is a Spotify marketing test group. I want to collect data, and I'm going to set up your ad campaign for you at no charge. Now, like I mentioned, the entry fee to play on Spotify is $250. So you got to come to the table with at least $250 that we can run into this ad. You got to pay that to me first. All right. I'm not gonna be like, hey, I owe you. I don't have the bankroll to do that for a lot of people. Maybe 1, maybe 2, but not more than that. So I'm asking for $250 to $1,000 ad spend that we put into this. I'm going to set up your ad for you. We're going to target a city. We're going to set up some other metrics to target your ideal audience. And then I'm going to collect all the data from everybody that participates. And we're going to go, all right, which verticals are doing well? Is it a niche down or a larger niche? Success? What's the success rate there? What brands, what topics, what categories, what cities? I'm going to compile all that and share it out in a podcast episode. I'll go live. I'll dive deep into it. I'll probably turn it into a lead magnet, honestly, because it's going to be pretty damn cool. But you're going to get free ad campaign setup. Normally, where I would charge for something like that, I do that with other podcast players. But if you're interested, DM me, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or on Instagram. Let's have fun with it on the old IG. DM me the poo emoji if you want to get in the Spotify test group. I'll know what you mean. Or you can just say, I want in the test group. That works also. Or you can email me, podcastingbusinessschool@gmail.com, podcastingbusinessschool@gmail.com. I'm going to get that cranking over the next few weeks. I've already had people applying. I'll take all comers here in the next few weeks. I'll shut it off when I get too many. And so I'll run a 5-day Spotify campaign for you for free to your show. It's going to get you people subscribing to your show. Now, if you want me to do the audio, that's some people are hitting me up and they're like, can you do the audio? Because it's an audio ad. I prefer that you do the audio. I'll give you the exact script of exactly what I want you to say, but I prefer to have you do the audio so that when the people are hearing the ad, they're hearing the voice of the podcaster. That way it's already connected. But if you want me to do the audio, I charge a small fee for that. And that's all in the sign up info. Anyway, I'll send you all the info that you want if you guys want to join that. I think we're good. Pod Pals. Podcasting tips and Q&A complete here for this Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday live from the Lake of the Ozarks. Maybe I'll have the lake in the background. Who knows? I got to figure out how I'm going to get my camera set up. It'll probably be a little sketchy. Who knows what the internet situation is going to be, but I will attempt going live next Wednesday. And it's going to be a regular thing. Let's make it a regular thing. If you want to hang out with me on Clubhouse, I'm at Podcast Growth. At Podcast Growth. Trying to spell my name will be a futile maneuver. It's really hard to spell. Lots of vowels in there. But at Podcast Growth on Clubhouse. Follow me there. I'm going to be up. Hit that little notification bell. If you want to just check out how I operate in a room and how I act, how I deliver, follow my account. Hit the notification bell. That way, it'll notify you when I am in a room or when I'm speaking in a room, and you can kind of just see how I operate. And like I said, let me be the test dummy. And I'll try things out and I'll report back, and you can sit back and observe and you get the best stuff. All right. That's my job as your pod pal. All right, everybody. I appreciate you tuning in live. Shout out to YouTube, shout out on Facebook, shout out on the IG. I appreciate you all. As always, I will sign off wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. I'll see you guys next week.